And the civil society organization Yaga Africa is calling on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as well as security agencies to ensure the arrest and prosecution of intending vote buyers and violence perpetrators in the next week's governorship election in Osun State, southwest Nigeria. Yaga Africa gave the charge while briefing journalists on its pre-election observation in various local government areas in the state. It describes vote buying as a threat that may undermine the credibility of the electoral process if left unchecked before and during the election. It is also calling on INEC and other civil society organizations to educate residents on the implication of vote buying.
Yaga Africa has been observing the pre-elections environment since April 2022. Yaga Africa is watching the vote, specifically trained and deployed 32 long-term observers to the 30 LGAs to observe the pre-elections environment until July 14, 2022. It is barely 10 days to the Osun governorship elections, and the rate of voter inducement across the state is increasing, indicating that money may be a defining factor in the elections in the state. Yaga Africa is therefore concerned that this practice of vote merchandising, if not curbed, will consistently delegitimize political mandates and undermine the credibility of our electoral process. Yaga Africa commends INEC on its efforts on the PVC collection exercise for both old and new registrants. However, we are concerned about the strategies deployed to ensure that the over 333,179 newly produced and printed permanent voters cards are collected by voters before the elections on July 16, 2022.
The Electoral Act is very clear about sharing of food and drinks and money in elections. You can go to jail. So if security agencies do their work, if INEC positions the cubicles in a way that guarantees electoral integrity, we may reduce the act of vote trading or merchandising, as you said. But the bigger thing is to continue to appeal to the conscience of our people to understand the long-term consequences of voter trading.
And for more on Osun gubernatorial elections, Ismail Omipidan, the Chief Press Secretary to the Osun State Governor, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program. And of course, let's get straight into it. July 16th is just around the corner. How prepared is the governor who is seeking a second term for the forthcoming polls? And how confident that the APC will retain Osun State?
Thank you very much. Good evening. There are strong indications that, God willing, APC is going to retain the state. The indices are very clear. Apart from the fact that the governor has performed creditably well, I want to say, with all sense of modesty, that all the major campaign issues that almost made it difficult for the party to win the election in 2018 have all been addressed by the incumbent governor. And if you permit me, I will mention a few of them. For instance, in the build-up to the 2018 election, there was issue of half salary. As I speak to you, it's about 3 years plus now. The governor has been paying salaries in full, including pensions and gratuities. Again, there was also the cry over issue of single uniform. Before the advent of this administration, the whole public schools in the state were wearing the same uniform. A thing the people of the state also kicked against. As I speak to you, that also has become a thing of the past. Again, there was this issue of reclassification of schools, where the names of schools were changed to the extent that the old boys and old girls of these various schools protested, and some even took the state government to court. And they insisted that they will have nothing to do with those schools, since what they hold very dear to their heart no longer exists. Again, those things have been addressed. Now, apart from all those things, it is about 3.5 years plus. The governor has not borrowed a dime from anywhere to run the affairs of the state. In spite of that, he's been building infrastructures. For example, most of the roads we have built were roads that had been abandoned for close to 30, 40 years. There's Adaigbajo Road, which was last touched about 33 years ago. There is Muro Yakoyo Road, which was also last touched about 44 years ago. There is Alekuodo Road in the state capital, Metropolis. As a matter of fact, that one had never been touched since the creation of the state in 1991. Again, this is one governor that at a go embarked on the revitalization and rehabilitation of 332 primary health care centers at a go, one per ward. And so, with all these, I believe very strongly that the APC will return the state. Check the history of the state very well. In the history of the state, this is the first time since the creation of the state, a governor will be on the saddle for close to 4 years, and there will be no labor industrial unrest. No students never embarked on a protest. As a matter of fact, this afternoon, students mobilized themselves to endorse the governor. And why did they do that? According to them, they said they needed to show appreciation to the governor for restoring their bursary. They needed to show appreciation to him for ensuring that under his leadership, the state institution did not go on strike for once. So there are so many indices on ground to show that this election is for the APC to lose.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ismail Omipidan, the Chief Press Secretary to the Osun State Governor, for being on the news tonight with us. Thank you so much.